Hello. Wanted to pop on and say hi. I had some messages coming through these last few days, and I thought, hey, this is a perfect time to share. It seems like things, obviously, in the collective are very stirred up. And just the other morning, like 2 days ago, and I've noticed actually a pattern this week, my daughter, my oldest daughter, she's very sensitive to energy. She's woken up with tummy aches. And for you parents out there that have kids that are really sensitive, I just want to kind of talk about how to handle that. Maybe, hey, Rochelle, what you could do. Hi, Elisa. What you could do to work through this with your kids, because one thing is these our kids are these like pure channels, and my daughter, she's just turned 7 actually, and there's no filter, there's no trying to pretend like everything's okay, and she doesn't even really know what's happening. I have been pretty good about just asking her to wash her hands more. Hi, love. And just sharing with her like a protocol of just making sure she's just being extra hygienic than normal. But she's woken up these last couple of days with these massive tummy aches and not wanting to go to school and not feeling good. And so I want to bring this to your awareness because obviously this is energy. She's picking up energy. She actually does not have anything like physically truly wrong with her, but she's just sensitive to everything that's happening. And so if our kids are this sensitive to energy, so are we. We're just so much better at turning things off and not paying attention to it. We get conditioned to be like, I'm good, everything's fine. But really what I'm noticing is people are way more stirred up right now than they have been in a long time. And I understand why. So I wanted to talk today. My name is Donnell, and I'm a soul and business coach and an intuitive healer. I'm working constantly like in the quantum field with energy, and I receive a lot of downloads through the way I'm just living my life. And what I was saying about us adults, if our kids are being this energetically stirred up, then what about us? So it's such a beautiful opportunity right now in our lives to practice loving kindness, to really figure out like how can we create safety within ourselves when our circumstances outside of us feel really funky and off. I mean, that's the way it's been feeling for me. And I've noticed, and I'm curious if this has happened for you guys too, I've been much more easily triggered these last few days. I actually just went through this like beautiful purification process. I did plant medicine over the weekend. I was feeling so grounded and so good and like all, just tuned in to life. And then I came back to the real world, came back to, everything that's happening, all the toilet paper in the stores being gone, which I was kind of shocked about when I went to Trader Joe's today. And I noticed that I was getting irritated more easily. So is this happening for you guys too? Because I wonder if I know I'm not the only one. And the way it showed up for me was like little stuff. It was something that happened at my daughter's school that would never in the past bother me. Like it would just kind of be like noise in my ear, and it would go in one ear and out the other. But because the collective energy is so stirred up right now, for those of you who are really sensitive to energy, and it's not just empaths, okay? I do energy work for a living, so I have to have very like good spiritual hygiene, but I know like it's not just for the empaths. Like everybody's feeling it. So you get this like amazing opportunity to do like so much self-care right now. If you're not meditating every morning, and this isn't like you should do this type thing, but I'm just saying like I've had to really up my meditation practice. I've had to like imagine when I'm taking showers that I'm just like washing off like everybody's energy. And this actually brings me back to my daughter. And for those of you that have really sensitive children, I have taught her since she was itty bitty baby, but more especially now because she feels everything, to do this like easy practice of just like putting her hand over her solar plexus and taking a few deep breaths and just saying return to sender through source. I learned it from who knows where over the years, but just like returning the energy and just having her like really breathe it out. Well, guess what? Us adults should be doing that too, because we are picking these things up. We are, these fine-tuned energetic like vessels. Every cell of our being is always picking up stuff. So when people are panicking and worrying about like, the economy and all these kind of things, you're going to feel it, And I think that's what's really cool about this time is to notice, like, one, like everything that you're picking up from your environment, and two, what could you do to really help yourself during this time? And so for me, like I was saying, it's like really upping my self-care, but it's also noticing these triggers. So going back to that, I was just literally like going through my day-to-day stuff and noticing my irritability levels being much, much higher. And so it is something just to pay attention to, because if you are finding yourself all of a sudden, being triggered by situations that normally you wouldn't, give yourself a break. It's not because all of a sudden, you're losing your spiritual edge or you're not paying attention. It's really because we have a lot coming at us. We're being bombarded by energy. So taking a pause, right? What can you do to help yourself during this time? And one of the things I worked on when I was doing my beautiful like sacred plant ceremony this weekend was, if you've ever experienced trauma in your life, which if any of you out there haven't, bless your heart, but most of us as children have experienced some form of trauma in some way. And it creates this feeling of like not being able to like trust our bodies and feel safe in our bodies. And then when you add like this, external element of like people freaking out right now, then it's really easy to just have this, I describe it as almost like this really uncomfortable feeling in your body of like, like something's up, like it's just not going away. And it's just, what's happening. So what would it take for you to feel more safe in your body, to feel more safe in life? Because this is spiritual mastery. This is really you like learning how to work with your frequency, because despite circumstances, so I'll say it in two different ways. Like you could be the richest person in the world and have everything in your access and still be miserable inside, right? We've seen those people. There's plenty of those on the planet that, have been examples of that. So just because you have everything in the material world does not mean that you're going to be a happy person. And then you'll see the opposite, where you go to travel to these like third world countries and you'll see people that have nothing comparatively to what we have here in the US. And they're the most beautiful, amazing souls with their energy, right? So this is really like letting go of this paradigm of like, I need these specific things to be happening in my reality for me to feel safe. Because the sooner you can let those things go, the quicker you'll find peace within yourself. And that's what we're really going for, is to find a level of peace. Thank you, Lisa. Yes, we do have to share our light for sure. Yeah, it's so important right now. But finding that peace within ourselves. And so it's not about, defining it on something external. It's finding your internal set point within you, coming to the space of your heart, taking deep breaths, clearing your energy field, and choosing what frequency you're going to live in. Because that's the most important thing about this, is what frequency are you going to allow in? Are you going to look at life from an open heart and knowing that everything is every experience, every energy is okay, like it doesn't, there doesn't have to be this expectation that things always have to be okay. That's spiritual bypassing, right? Just allowing everything to have its own experience. And then from there, like really choosing in of, okay, like what can I do to really like feel joy in my heart? Because the moment that you start to go into the fear and the scarcity and all the stuff that's happening, it's going to cause your energy field to contract. And then it's just going to bring in, more stress and more experiences on that level, because we, quantum physics, we are always putting out a frequency to the universe, and it's natural law. It's going to match us back. So I implore you to just take better care of yourself. That's a loving kindness, that you could really bring into your life right now. And I decided, I got a download this week, and I never do this. If you know me, But I decided I wanted to change things up a little bit. And I want to run a special right now of just like doing like, I haven't even put it together in my, on my like, system where people can, go place an order for it. But I want to offer 3 sessions right now at a way discounted rate, because I feel like people are freaking out right now. Like they're having a lot of trouble. So I want to help people find their loving kindness, their peace within themselves, their grounding. And this is something where if you're interested in this, I'm actually going to be offering this for $333. I'm going to do a separate post, and it's just going to be 3 45-minute sessions. But if you feel called, if you feel like, oh gosh, I really want to like get some help right now, I need this, then, hi Ashley, then you know where to find me. You can message me. But I hope that you guys will practice a little extra loving kindness in your life and really look at what it's going to take for you to feel safe within yourself despite the circumstances that are unfolding right now. Because the more light that we can spread on this planet, the more that we can see this as helping consciousness like awaken to a new level. And I'm hoping, this is my heart's wish, is that this brings us together as one big world family. And really, instead of like all this separation that we've been experiencing, like maybe this is an opportunity for people to really step into a whole new paradigm of this 5D consciousness that, we're hoping comes through. So anyways, I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you guys soon.